Dr. Umar Johnson has just responded to the viral conversation started by Eboni K. Williams and her dating preferences. Last week, Williams went viral for saying that she would not date a bus driver because of her own preferences. These comments outraged many online and sparked a debate about personal preferences and societal expectations. The backlash forced Eboni to clarify that her comments were not meant to be derogatory towards bus drivers or any other service jobs. While defending her original statement, Williams made comments about the importance of Black excellence and avoiding mediocrity. Unfortunately, these comments also faced criticism as many felt her defense suggested that bus drivers and other service jobs were mediocre. Now, some have done some research on Eboni's relationship history and found that she has had a fiance that was white in her past. When Dr. Umar found out, he criticized Williams and said her rant against Black bus drivers seemed to be a justification to date a white man, and she has yet to respond. Today we have our comedy hype analysts Danielle Miller, Capone, and Pierre calling to the show to give their thoughts and reactions. But first, let's take a look at this clip.
Eboni K. Williams, well-spoken sister. She made some great points, but dear Eboni, we can't talk out both sides of our mouth. I didn't disagree with much of what you said today, but that's not what you said the other day, sister. You are a bourgeoisie feminist, and I hope to God you wasn't engaged to a white man, because I thought somebody said you was engaged to a white man. If I find out your ass was swimming in the milk, I'm gonna lose a lot of respect for you, sister. Then you're telling me, at the end of the day, you are trying to condemn Black men to justify dating white. If you are a bunny hopper, then what you are telling me, your whole rant against Black men driving the bus was a justification so you can date a white man. You still didn't deal with collective work and responsibility, though. I still heard a lot of Eurocentric individualism. And I don't know where you've been getting your reports from, sweetheart, but we got 2 million Africans with college degrees unemployed. You was doing a whole lot of pushing college today, like it's some form of upward mobility. College is not an opportunity for 21st century Africans. It's putting us into debt to the banks, my sister Eboni K. Williams. So where is your solution for collective group economics? I didn't hear none of that. She departed from her attack on Black males with blue-collar jobs. Do you know that you got plumbers who make more money than doctors? A lot of my middle-class bougie Black sisters, they on that individualism, Europeanism. Where the f is the group solutions at, Eboni K?
So let me come to you first, Capone. I'd love to get your reaction to this. After seeing the clip from Dr. Umar, what was your first reaction to it?
I like what he said. He kind of put the situation in place, especially if she stated about Black men and her engaged to a white man. He put it on Front Street, and usually that's the case when Black women talk down on Black men. They got that little side thing that they got going on that people find out later.
Pierre, let me bring you in. Same thing after hearing from Dr. Umar. What's your reaction to it?
It's all about why is it us in the Black community always got to do name calling when we don't like something? If I say I don't like apples, then why got to be a clown ass nigga, you whack ass motherfucker, whack it? Like, why does it got to be that? Umar always comes on the lowest floor with his remarks about digging on somebody's personal, trying to call her all kind of names because she likes somebody white. I know in the comments, your mama white. I don't give a damn about that. But why it got to always be that? Once I hear that, I almost turn it off because it's like, can you say something without calling someone a name? Why does it have to be a name calling session all the time when Black folks don't agree with each other? Now, I didn't watch the show. I don't know the whole thing that she went through. But if she was just talking about she didn't want to be, well, we'll talk about that later on. But yeah, just his response. It doesn't have to be wrapped around name calling all the time, or does it? Is that the only way you can get through it, by calling somebody a name or something? You know what I'm saying? Because they don't like something you don't like or do something you don't do. Why does he have to go there all the time instead of just keeping it on board and saying what it is?
Fair point. Danielle, let me bring you in. Same thing. After seeing Dr. Umar respond, what's your reaction to it?
I don't have nothing much to say about Dr. Umar. I just don't like how it sounds like in this conversation, like he is attacking her. I think you can get your point across to somebody without attacking them, because now it adds to the clashing. And it ultimately like makes us look bad. I know we chuckle and we kiki, like over some of the things that he says, but that attack was I mean, I just feel like he just went straight ham on her and then tried to pull up personal information. I think you can get like Pierre said, you can get your point across without doing that. So I don't have much to say on Dr. Umar's response. I want to get into the nitty-gritty. I want to get into what Ebony said.
Absolutely. Now, I want to kind of lay this up a little bit. I know a lot of people are obviously in a frenzy because some people may not know exactly what's going on. So Eboni K. Williams will be on the griot and she would have a conversation about, you know, our dating preferences. And one question was asked to her was, would you date a bus driver? And Ebony said she would only date a bus driver if he owned it. A little bit about Ebony, she's always talked about ownership. She has a couple books about it. So this has always been her rhetoric. And the griot would share a clip of that, and that's essentially what went viral, and a lot of people are upset. So Pierre, let me bring you in. I just want to get your reaction to what we're seeing happening online. Take Dr. Umar off, but a lot of people are upset at this. I'd love to get your reaction, you know, after you saw the clip and kind of seen the comments that's been surfacing online.
I didn't see the whole thing, you know, so I'm going just by what clips I saw. First of all, everyone has a right to choose who they want to date and what type of person they want to be involved with. We all have a right. If we don't like a certain color, height, whatever, you have a preference and you're allowed to prefer, you know, go for your preference. There's nothing wrong with that. If it hurts someone else's feelings because you don't want to date them because they're short, that's on them. You know, you have your preferences. Just like some people prefer, say, interracial couples. That's fine too. It's preference. So for her to say, I don't want to date a bus driver, and she was saying there's nothing wrong with bus drivers, but she wanted to say, hey, if you're driving a bus and you're not trying to elevate yourself to another level, then I don't want to date you. And I have no problem with that. If you're fine with just being a bus driver, making your whatever, $50,000, $60,000 a year, and you're fine with that, then she can say, I don't want that. I want somebody who wants to elevate. Now, if you're a bus driver who, like she said, owns it or trying to do a next level situation, cool. But why do I have to date somebody who wants to date me and they're a bus driver and I'm not, and they're not elevating themselves? It can be anything, a trash collector, it can be a school teacher. If you're not trying to elevate yourself, and I'm an elevating kind of person, I want to move to next levels and see millionaire statuses in my lifetime, and you don't, and you want to think, man, bus drivers are cool. I get a nice check, I get my insurance. Nothing wrong with that. But why do I have to date you? Why do I have to date you if you're not going to be an elevator? And I think it's more about her thinking about someone who wants to elevate themselves, own the company, do bigger things. And if you don't want to do bigger things, and you just want to be a bus driver, fine, but that ain't my lane. And there's nothing wrong with that to me.
Yeah, and I think because you mentioned salary, of course, you know, in every state it can be different, but here in Georgia, a bus driver does make about $41,000, so you hit that mark, that range right on point. But Capone, let me bring you in. I'd love to get your reaction, and also just to add to it, I'm seeing a lot of black men upset at this. Why do you think so many black men are hurt by the comments of Eboni K. Williams?
I have to say that I agree.
No.
Oh, I don't believe I'm saying this.
You do it
I
every week.
agree 110% with Pierre. Why is her preference of dating the big topic? If she don't want to, whether she said bus driver, whether she said librarian, it doesn't matter. Why are we making such a big thing of this woman who actually, he said it, she wants a man who is willing to elevate himself. And if a guy is just willing to be a bus driver, then that's not what she wants. And she's entitled to that. That's her preference. And I think that we're going overboard for the mere fact of this is a choice. And that's her choice. I don't think that she actually, as I listened to it, downplayed anybody. She just gave her reference, and we are attacking her about who she chooses to deal with. And I don't think that's
real quick. I think what people think we're doing is job shaming. And she's not job shaming, she's just shaming the person that works at the job who doesn't want to elevate herself. That's what I think was happening.
Now, Danielle, let me bring you in, especially, you know, being a woman on this panel. I'd love to get your thoughts on this. I'd love to get your reaction to what you saw unfold. And why do you think so many people are upset by the comments of Eboni K. Williams?
So I agree with both Pierre and Capone. I think her dating preference is her dating preference. But what I want to do is zero in on why particularly a lot of Black men might be upset about it. And I think that is because I'm in the Bahamas, and I don't think we realize as women how difficult it can be for men to reach certain levels of success, honestly. Let's be real. I think what we've done throughout the years is we've taught women how to gain the success. We've taught them, be educated, go to school, go to college, get a good degree. And we elevate them with that. But when it comes to a man, in terms of reaching levels of success, and in her interview with the Griot, she mentioned mediocrity. Sometimes not everybody is academically inclined. She said, a C or D average is not good enough for her, but not everybody is academically inclined. And because we've zeroed in so much on the aspect of a degree, not every Black man is able to get to that aspect in life. Some of them don't even graduate from school because of the situations that they're put in. Sometimes they have to take care of their family when they're young. So I think for a lot of Black men, it's like, yo, I'm trying, and I am pushing, and I am trying to do better, but nobody seems to see that. Everybody just seems to be wanting to beat down on the Black man without necessarily taking time to understand their struggle and where they are coming from and understand my world. So I think that's why a lot of Black men seem to be upset, because a lot of them are trying. A lot of them are trying, but it just seems like everywhere they turn, especially in our community, we tend to take a bat and we beat them with it because they don't seem to be progressing the way that we want them to progress in life. So that's what I wanted to hound down on there.
Absolutely. Now, I want to bring in some audio from Eboni because I do think it's important. We've seen, some people have seen her pretty much go on this tour to explain herself and things that she was trying and try to clarify exactly what she meant. So I want to play that audio for you all, and then when we come back, I want to get your thoughts. So let's take a listen to this.
And of those comments, Dustin, most all of them call me everything but a child of God. And what they heard me say that I never said was, bus drivers ain't shit. Bus drivers are broke. I know that those who have rational sense know that that is nothing that I said, thought, or implied, or even believe, that have read even a little bit of my first or my second book. And in it, what you will read is, I think, a very important story. First of all, the fact that I spent so much time on Black ownership in the book, to the point where I devoted a whole chapter. It's called the Leverage chapter. It's my favorite chapter. The opening sentence of that chapter: it's hard to be free when you don't own anything. It's not about the money or the cash flow. It is about tethering Black liberation here in America to ownership. My grandfather, Kerry James Williams Sr., all of those that want to make this about me being some bougie elite bitch, throw it out the window. You made it up. So my point in saying this, y'all, this is not an indictment of individuals who drive the bus, but my legacy mandates that I follow my legacy of entrepreneurship.
Now, that would be audio from Eboni's podcast, Holding Court. We wouldn't see that she would respond to Dr. Umar, but recently this is what she reposted on her story, and I want to read it to you all. Here's what the post says. It says, "Let me tell you why the controversy surrounding my soror, Eboni K. Williams, is so triggering. Black women are the only demographic constantly told to settle or be grateful for the minimum. When the cult leader Kevin Samuels was alive, he kept telling women how they were so ugly and unworthy because they had a child or weren't attractive enough. Now, Eboni, a 39-year-old beauty queen turned lawyer with no children, desires to partner with a man equal to her, and men and pick-me's are in a rush to tear her down and tell her to settle. I want more men to be honest and admit they hate women. You may enjoy sexual relations with them, but many of y'all hate women. The whole internet is in shambles because a woman doesn't want to be the breadwinner and submit to a man she considers mediocre. Whether we admit it or not, who you marry matters. If you marry a broke man, your life will suck, period. I hope my good sis never settles, and hopefully you don't either. I know I didn't." So, Pierre, I'll come to you. These are just responses of her clarifying what she said, and then this is just a repost. Do you think that she should respond to Dr. Umar? Do you think that should be the next thing where she actually directly responds to what we saw from Dr. Umar?
I listened to her statement. I saw no lies detected. If she grew up like that, then, that's what she's accustomed to and she's used to. Entrepreneurship, hustle, drive, own your own business. You can't knock somebody for that. She got to go backward or down as a guy who has a regular job, vice versa, even a man doing the same thing with a woman and stuff. If you grew up around that, this is what you want, and this is what you love, this is what you need to do. So I don't think she needs to go back and forth. For what reason? She said what she said. I'm cool with it. I understand it. I'm an entrepreneur. If you're not an entrepreneur, you don't understand it. Some people want security. They want a 9 to 5, a job that snuggles them. They got insurance. Other people out there hustling and don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but they make a lot of money here. Next month, they don't make a lot of money. So that kind of person might want to be around a person like that. And the person that's kind of calm and have the same job doesn't. So to me, what she says, I don't know why. They're trying to vilify her to say she don't like no men that have 9 to 5 jobs. Don't have a right to have that job and have a relationship. She's just saying, for me, it ain't working for me. Look at my lineage. It's not working for me. That's all he's saying. I mean, that's all she's saying, I think. And I'm fine with her saying that. So no, I wouldn't go back with him. It's just going to stir a pot up. We're sensitive right now. We're emotionally sensitive right now. And that's it. We're going to jump all over it. Watch the comments. I'll read them.
Yeah, of course, these comments are going to blow up. Danielle, let me bring you in. Same thing. I'd love to get your thoughts. Do you think, we see Eboni go and clarify her statements. Today she did a repost. Do you think we should see a response from her directly to Dr. Umar?
I don't think she should respond to Dr. Umar. I also think that the response boy, let me first put this disclaimer out there. Women, y'all gonna hate me today. I also think her response was also a bit condescending as well. It comes off as your tone. It's the way that you say things. You can state your preference and how you like things without sounding like you're trying to belittle anyone. And the way that she said it, even the repost about Black men hate women. But we don't see white people online doing these things. I don't get it. I don't know why we just don't sit down and have conversations with each other and try to understand where each other is coming from. Because honestly and truly, the book that what says men are from Mars, women are from Venus, or something like that, is the truth. We understand things completely different, and we in that community aren't together at all. We're separated. And we go online and we say these hateful things, we say these condescending things to each other, and we think it's okay to do, and it's not. It's just a simple, I don't understand you, you don't understand me, let's come together, let's understand each other, and move forward with that. So I don't think she should respond to Dr. Umar. I think we need to continue to have conversations like this in terms of what really is mediocrity in terms of the Black community, and when it comes to a job and coming to partnership and stuff, because I don't think a lot of women realize the fact that you can take a bus driver and make him into a millionaire if he has that ambition. And because we as women want somebody that's already made, and we want somebody that's already there, we don't want to put in the work into that, because we want somebody that's already there. We want somebody that's here with us. And I think it's sort of an imbalance and sort of unfair to a lot of men that we just write them off just because we look at them for working a particular job, but we don't see the heart and the brain and the mind of that man. So I don't think she should respond to Dr. Umar. I think more conversations need to continue on like this, but in terms of love and really understanding each other, men and female in the Black community.
Yeah, and I think us being in media, I think that was the intention behind it, right? To have these conversations, because obviously they pushed the clip because they knew it was going to be clickbait. But Capone, let me bring you in. Same question for you. What do you think? Do you think we should see a response to Dr. Umar from Eboni K. Williams?
No. He made his point. She made her point. I have to agree with Danielle, though. The part that bothered me is her specifically saying that Black men don't like women or Black women.
And I want to make sure that's just a repost. I want to make sure she reposted someone that actually wrote that out. So I want to make sure I
stand corrected.
But that essentially means that she's agreeing with it, though, if she reposted it.
I'm just laying the facts.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, she has her preferences, and she's entitled to date who she wants, and her opinion about whoever she has an opinion about is just her opinion. It don't move no smoke, don't stop no boat. It's just let it float. And I think we're giving her too much press. There's a lot of women that feel this way, and there's a lot of women that disagree with her. Love who you love. And I agree with Pierre again. She's been brought up in an entrepreneur situation. And even though my mother didn't enhance to those levels that her mother did, it still was embedded in me to own. to own. But I don't look down at nobody else that don't own. I just try to teach somebody that might not have the lessons to learn how to own or how to purchase or things of that nature. And I think that, what she's saying is, I was taught by my mother to do this, and if you ain't doing it, then I don't want to deal with you. I don't have no regards for you. And I think that that's wrong. There's one thing that a lot of us don't get, and that's lessons from each other. We really don't help each other move forward. And there's a lot of things that we can help as far as purchasing land, purchasing housing. And for some reason, we get this type of knowledge and we keep it to ourselves. And I think that that's what I'm getting from her.
Well, let me ask you a question, Capone. You like to own stuff. You believe in ownership, which is a great thing. Now, we being real now, would you date a waitress at Waffle House who just wanted to be a waitress and wasn't into owning anything, didn't care about owning anything?
Now, hold on, Pierre. Hold on, Capone. Don't answer that, Pierre. I actually like that question. We're going to go to commercial break, and when we come back, Capone, I want you to answer that truthfully.
I got it.
Go to commercial back. And
here we go. You getting too much time. God damn, you getting too much time to think about this.
No, I'm ready. I'm ready already.
We're gonna take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, I actually want to ask you all: would you date a bus driver? Yes. If yes, why? If no, why? When we come back from this commercial break, stay tuned.
Fridays at 8 on Peachtree TV.
Why do you feel it's so important to support Black-owned businesses?
Some of Atlanta's best Black-owned businesses take center stage.
Whoa!
Black Friday Report.
Okay. Oh!
Only on Atlanta's own Peachtree TV.
All right, now when we went to commercial break, Pierre asked you a question, Capone. Pierre, if you want to propose that question one more time so Capone can give you a thorough answer.
Caponeo. All right, here we go. You always preach ownership, which is a great thing. Ownership. You own stuff. You don't have a 9-to-5. That's your lifestyle. If you met a woman that worked at, let's say she worked at the Waffle House as a waitress, she's been waitressing for 25 years, and she's cool with it. She likes them little tips she get, however she rolls. Could you really make her your wife if that's not her mindset of doing what you do?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, Pierre.
Mm-hmm.
Every woman I've dated and women that I have children with have had low-income jobs.
And you're not with them anymore.
I've turned several of them into entrepreneurs with owning their own businesses. I'll be honest with you. My mother used to tell me that I attract women in need. And, some of them are beautiful women. I'm not going to say that all of them turned out successful, but there's been quite a few that I had that are very successful business owners. And I don't think the job makes a person. How a person makes you feel or how you communicate and what that person is willing to do. When I first met my last son's mother, the first question that I had for her was, if you had anything in any wish in the world that you could own, what would it be? And she said, I want to own my own boutique. And this is our third date. And I said, all right, find the store. And that's how it went.
Big boss.
Yeah, my thing is, if you got it to help somebody, help them. Sometimes you can make dreams, and that's it. That's the same thing with comedians. I take a lot of comedians that wouldn't get the opportunities to be on the road. I teach them how to finance. I teach them how to market themselves. It's the same thing. It has nothing to do with, it's just where my heart is at and helping certain people. That's all.
Now, I love that response. Let me bring Pierre in. Pierre, what are you listening to all of a sudden?
I was listening to some love music. You were talking and shit. Some real sweet love music.
So Pierre, let me ask you this question then. I know you said a Waffle House worker, but I'm going to go to the bus driver since we're on that conversation. Pierre, you as an entrepreneur, you've been a leader in all these spaces. We've seen you write, produce, act, all these things. Would you date a bus driver?
I'll answer that question, but first let me explain what Capone tried to do just then. The question wasn't if you could turn that person into an entrepreneur. that bus driver that they were saying that's all he wants to do. So yes, you're the shining guy in armor, Capone, but you made women turn them into entrepreneurs who was willing to try that way. If they told you, no, nigga, I don't want to do that. I want to work at the Waffle House and make my tips. I don't want to be a entrepreneur. I don't want your help. Is that I'll date you, I'll take care of you, I'll cook the food. Would you have then rocked out with her? Don't tell me about the ones that said yes, and then you went ahead and then you helped them become entrepreneur. She's talking about Kate, whatever, I don't know, Kate. She's saying dudes that want to stay on that level, that don't want to level up. If you want to level up, she probably fuck with you. But if you don't want to level up, you just want to be a bus driver, have insurance, and that's all you want, then she says, I don't want to be with you. And I'd be right. So I don't think Capone would have been with all those women if they would have said, no, nigga, I don't want no nail shop. Well, what you want, anything you want in the world. I don't want nothing but to work at Waffle House, and that's all I want to do. I don't think Capone would be like, all right, baby, let's do this.
Well, let's let him respond. Go ahead, Capone.
There was one that didn't want to do nothing.
Right. And what happened to her?
We stayed together for a while, but it didn't last.
2 weeks don't count. 2 weeks don't count.
No, it was a month or two.
Wow. All right. Okay. I'm at a point in my career right now. I don't necessarily need somebody to level up with necessarily. I'm doing pretty well myself. If I met a good woman who, let's say she wanted to be a nurse, she's a nurse, and that's all she wanted to be was a nurse. She was a good homemaker. She was good to me. She was fine as hell. I'm gonna put that in there too. You know what I'm saying? She got the benefits. I'm cool with that. She wants to stay there because I don't need her to help me level up. Again, I didn't, I came in an entrepreneur family too, but I am good enough to be an entrepreneur. As long as she don't make me stagnant, bring me down. Why you gotta go out and do that? Why you working on that? Why we putting money over here? If she's not doing me like that, cool. She said, baby, do what you do. I know what you do. I'm here to support you. And every other thing, but the daily operations. I'm here to make sure you have a clean home, a nice home, you a well-cooked meal, and all, whatever that is. Whatever you want, she wants to play that position. I'm fine with that. So I need that sometimes more important than somebody all up in my business, trying to learn my business and don't know what the hell what she's doing.
Capone, I know you're probably smiling while I'm smiling, because Pierre, the question was, would you date a bus driver? The question was a bus driver. Would you date a bus driver?
Okay, hold on. I answered the question. It could be a nurse, a bus driver, a maid. I don't care what it is. You talking about somebody with a job, right? A job.
So yes or no to bus driver?
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. A bus driver, yes. All those questions I just said, bus driver fits right in there. Yes, as long as she's a good housewife, good to me. And no, that's right, damn right. And she likes to do that. That's what she wants to do. So she wants to keep my base together so I can level up and help. It's my money, our money. So I'm cool with that. Sometimes you need that. Anybody who hustles out there, you know too, Ebony. Symphony. You come home sometimes and throw your clothes to the side. You ain't fold them up yet. You busy doing too many things. Well, if your man was there folding them up for you, had everything clean, that'd be better. Sometimes you gotta take what do you call it? Take out food which you really don't want, but you busy hustling. I know you. I see what you're doing. You hustling. You ain't eating right 100%. If your man was in the house taking care when you came in the house and he was a bus driver, you wouldn't give a damn as long as he got your back like that while you're hustling.
DL, I'm going to come to you to close us out. There's a lot of conversations here. I wanted to ask the men specifically, would they date a bus driver? Because, that was a question that was asked for the women, and we see women having the conversation. But on the other side that we see a lot of backlash that Eboni is getting is because she was with a white man. She was engaged to a white man. So I want to ask you, why do you think we're seeing an increase in Black women dating white men?
I thought I could get the bus driver question. Y'all throw this question to me. Okay. So I think, let me first say this before I answer your question, because I want to make this very clear and very concise.
Come on, man.
Right? Personally, for me, I won't date a white man. That's just me. That's my preference. I like Black men when they walk inside the room. It's just something about a Black man's presence that makes things different. And it presents authority, it presents power, it presents strength. I just love my Black men, despite how many ups and downs we may have. Now, let me get into the answer of this question. The reason why, Pierre, you're a little bit. So to get into your question, I think more and more Black women are dating white men because they feel like white men know how to treat them better.
Ooh.
And to be sip it. And to be honest, let's have a real conversation. Men are taught how to treat a family. Unfortunately, for our Black men, nobody really takes the time out to teach them how to treat a family, to teach them how to communicate with women, to teach them in terms of what compromise is inside of a household. Because I just think that's what's going on. I think more and more Black women feel like this white man is going to treat me better, and that's because most of them grew up in a household where they saw a family structure. Now, here comes to the real conversation that we need to get into. You can teach somebody how to love you. Music Soul Child had this song that says, "Teach me how to love." It just takes patience. Love calls for patience. And I think for a lot of Black women, because we're so consumed in our careers, we don't necessarily have the time or the energy to say that we want to teach this man how to treat me. I mean, we hear it all the time. I'm not going to raise a man. Your mama shouldn't do that. Well, the truth of the matter is his mama was probably doing the same thing that you're doing, and that's working all the time and not knowing what it is to receive love from a man. So it's up to us to, again, have these in-depth conversations and to really get to the root of things and not be scared to say things aloud, like I just said, and will cause Pierre to turn his chair. But to me, I think that's just what's going on. We just need to have honest conversations with each other and teach each other what it is to really communicate and love each other.
No, and I appreciate that honest response. Again, you know, that's why I always love having conversations here, because we can have these tough conversations and still love each other in no matter what turning around we do or drinking or putting on headphones. But as always,
She over there talking about Music Soul Child trying to teach men how to. Girl, you need to get with Cali Swag District and find out how they teach you how to Dougie. You got a better chance than teaching a nigga how to Dougie. Yeah.
I think some men are, when a man really is interested in you, you can teach him how to love you. You know what? This calls for a deeper conversation on a different day. I think one day I need to come on Pierre's Panic Room and you can come on. I think that's it. Yeah.
There we go. That's what I love to hear. But as always, I appreciate you all for chiming in on this topic. Of course, before we head out, I'd like to know what you have going on. So, Mr. Catback, I'm coming to you first. I know this is your chill week. So what do you have coming up? And of course, how can people follow you?
Today, I'm actually shooting a video for this new song that we just dropped called I Miss You, dedicated to all the mothers and all the people who have lost their mothers. It's everybody who knows me know that my company is called Mama We Made It. And so, you know, you don't know the behind the stories of what a person goes through when they lose a mother, especially around the time of Mother's Day. So we're dropping a video. We're actually filming a video today, and we're dropping it on Mother's Day. So look out for it. And follow me on Instagram, Comedian Capone. Very simple, Comedian Capone. If you cannot spell comedian, please don't follow me. Bottom line.
I love that, and I look forward to seeing that video as well. Mr. Pierre, I'm coming over to you. You done had headphones on. You done turned around. You got a lot of props around you. It's just always props. There's just a lot of props around you. But of course, you know, we love it here, and that's why we have you here. What do you have coming up? And of course, how can people follow you?
I'm pretty excited. I'm doing a one-nighter in Charlotte, North Carolina. So all my folks in Charlotte, North Carolina, June 7th, I'll be at the Comedy Zone. Just announced it, get them tickets, they're gonna go. So if you're in the Charlotte area, please come on Sunday, whatever day it is, June 7th. I know it's on the June 7th. Come out, I'm doing a one night show, do all my stuff. So I look forward. I love Charlotte too, Charlotte, North Carolina. But today we got Chris Spencer on my podcast. You know, go over there, check it out. Chris Spencer, very funny comedian. You can follow me at Comic Pierre, COMICPIERRE, or just follow me in the comments. But I'm always up in these comments.
Absolutely. Last and certainly not least, the beautiful Danielle Miller. What do you have coming up? And of course, how can people follow you?
So what I have coming up, of course, is Comedy Hype, Comedy Hype. Every Tuesday, the best news show on YouTube, one of the best channels on YouTube, Comedy Hype. Make sure you subscribe. I am here with the wonderful Capone Make sure y'all check out some of Capone's specials on YouTube. I was Googling Capone and watching his stuff. And then, of course, we have Pierre that's here. And I want to say happy birthday.
Thank you.
I want to say happy birthday to Pierre. I wasn't familiar you had birthday. I thought they just spit you up from the ground, but happy birthday to you.
No worries. No worries.
And I have new episodes of Sis coming out this summer. You can make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It is Danielle, DENIELLE, and follow me on Instagram at DEEA Miller.
Absolutely. You two are a mess. I love it. Me and Capone is always in the back just laughing.
He's picking on me, Symphony. He always picking on me. So
I don't. I don't pick on you. I rebut. You come for me, I come for you. That's how I live. Don't let this pretty light skin fool you now. Don't do that now. You ain't got to be dark skinned to be a nigga like I am. Don't do that.
Y'all are hilarious, and I absolutely love it. As always, I appreciate you all for chiming in on this topic. But you heard from us. Now we want to hear from you in the comments below. What are your thoughts to Eboni K. Williams responding to Dr. Umar with silence over the bus driver debate? For Comedy Hype News, I'm Symphony Thompson.
Put in those comments.
Culture sounds like black hands, coating your face in Vaseline like, boy, take those off and put on your good jeans, like put on your good shoes. And the riches in our genetics are not something that we get to choose. But when they stop you and they ask, what has the ability to create all of that? I hope you tell them. It's because my mama black.